Muzik, and it's on MediaTakeout.com. He's getting popularity. I never heard him from Texas. I got roots, Louisiana. Not as long distance roots, but it's still there. And he said that the people who didn't fight the racism during slavery were pussies. And don't get wrong, I disagree with him and extremely. And I also agree with him, and I'll explain why I said agree partially. Because there were times when Harriet Tubman did get the slaves out the plantation. Y'all know all the time on my videos I've said that I would help those who didn't want to leave. I go ahead and come on, let's get out the plantation. I'm the freedman, and I'm a free man of color. I'm not a the house or the field slave. I'm neither. I am the freedman, the runaway slave. Okay, there were and brother, there were stories they don't teach in school, and I'm talking about true story where they fought against the master. You're from Louisiana. Okay, let's start there before I go to any of the subjects. It's Black History Month, brother. Happy Brother History Month in Louisiana, and I know you're darker than I am, and I'm not too light, but we come in all different shades. We're not pure black people, and we start letting white people define who we are, and stop dealing with their slaves within our community who defend the one drop rule like a bunch of savage, a hang at your head, cotton picking house slaves are ready to knock you out while you leave the plantation. In Louisiana, and it didn't always happen, but there were also people who were free. You mentioned Creole. And the Creole mixture consisted of French, Black, Spaniard, and Native. And many of us today, who come in all colors, who have ancestors in Louisiana, are descendants of that. No matter what we look like, we have to look light, bright, or, no matter if you're dark chocolate like yourself. There were French men and German men and also Spaniard men who married black women. Unlike the South was in Louisiana. The Louisiana, especially the southern part, was mostly French and also Spanish and Catholic. The other part of the South was white, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant. And Louisiana had its own, it was like its own country, okay? And when the French, there were here raping there, but it wasn't always that because they saw the slaves as humans, even though they were slaves. For example, the Catholic parishes in Louisiana took down names of the slaves who were owned by the white people in Louisiana. So if you do research in Louisiana, you'll find the name and day and birth of the slave on the plantation in the white Protestant states. Mexico had Texas, but it got stolen from the Anglo-Saxons. In the other part of the South, the slaves were boy, girl, man. That's why I was able to trace my roots to England due to my fourth grandmother, who was white, who was English and Irish, who married my Creole for grandfather after slavery because they listed her name and everything else. Okay, so there were free people of color in Louisiana. Of course, we're gonna use the colorism in there because the high yellow ones, who was the white folks' kids, were sent to Europe or France usually, to learn French and come back and listen to the classical music and it's with jazz and all that stuff. That is partially true, but there also were free people of color, that not all of them own slaves. They're those who fought against slavery. Okay, they also had the first black newspaper in Louisiana, where you're from. And they had free people of color. A white man who was not a slave master who was French or Spaniard or German, will buy a slave from an Anglo-Saxon, which is an English descent, and they will let that slave go free. They will also pay the black person or black identified person to mix whatever who want to work on plantation to get free, because slavery was by unpaid labor, unpaid labor, and many of the black women and mixed race women, not all, but many, didn't marry until the Anglo-Saxons took over Louisiana as part of the Confederacy and made it illegal because it was a Spanish governor. When the French was the forbidden race mixing, the Spanish governor, who was Spaniard, came in and said, yes, you can intermarry. Okay, a lot of folks don't know that. Okay, so many of us were free. Okay, and I said us, even though we may not look like the mulatto people, but we're descendants. Okay, so that's why read uh uh Plessy versus Ferguson case. That man, like a white man, he was partially black, which made the one drop rule very national way after slavery, because he was sitting on the white side, but his ancestors had not been enslaved a long time. They were free people of color. All right, so please read about that. 9, 10, even though you're dark chocolate, you probably have a mother, daddy, grandma, grandpa, who that is very exotic. Okay, so don't sit there and use your look. Now, outside of Louisiana, the black Seminoles, here come the black Seminoles that they're in Florida. They beat the white folks up, who are racist, who are slave masters. The Spaniards owned Florida at one period of time. Ratchet ass Florida, which is today, okay? And a lot of the slaves from the Carolinas and Georgia left those areas and went to Spanish Florida and mixed with the Seminole Native American tribe. When white people came there who were slave masters, they got their ass whooped. Okay? A lot of this is one thing that's why I don't have no issue, even though don't know if I have Seminole. I know I have a Native American. I know I have Choctaw in my family tree as well. But I'm not ashamed to admit the black mixture. Yeah, there was Native Americans who owned slaves too. There was Africans that owned slaves. There was people of color who owned slaves now in Louisiana and South Carolina as well. But the over majority was white slave owners. People like to use their argument. It's called like it is. White folks who own slave benefit more than people of color, whether it was Native American or mixed race, or either they were pure black that owned slaves. It's called like it is, okay? So I hate to hear those arguments when people try to debunk that. Yeah, they were black slaves, but they were the old majority, okay? There would be no segregation after this, okay? So truth of the matter is, they beat until Andrew Jackson took over Florida. And they was at the Trail of Tears. They had to go to Oklahoma, and you had the white part Chickasaw Native American folks try to slave the black Seminoles, and they left and went to Mexico through Texas, Rio Grande. After Texas was stolen from Mexico, because it became a slave country, which is Republic of Texas, and then became a slave state. It was Confederacy before the Civil War. Now, you don't know your history well. That they don't teach it in school, especially in the white. In the South, because after Louisiana became part of the Confederacy, a lot of white Anglo-Saxon Protestant racism included the Cajuns, who were French descent, and other people had assimilated to that mentality. Okay, now the truth of the matter is that I'm trying to think what else. Frederick Douglass was free. He was born a slave, but he was free, and he didn't hang with people who were slaves. And the reason why, because the slaves would go back and tell. Was going to their master. They saw a slave land, and this man was partially black and white, Native American. Okay, he looked a little darker on the picture, but his dad was a white man. His mother was black and Native American. A lot of people, even their fault, they don't teach that in school because they don't want you to learn it. They always want you to learn the slavery, the bad boy, and Harriet Tubman, and Sojourner Truth. You don't learn about that, but it's more stories. Okay, now I didn't criticize your message. I said, you're going to be the next slave of being a white man's nigga. No offense. I know you very rowdy and ratchet yourself. And being in prison, I'm calling me the next thug in the prison complex. And the reason why I said it, because you forget that slavery is not in. The slavery that we talk about is a private prison complex. In the 13th Amendment, it says if you're punished for criminal offense or whatever it says in the 13th Amendment, you're a slave when you go to prison. Okay. So portraying a thug image and call yourself a nigga, and I'm gonna let you know, dude, a nigga is nothing to be called. Okay? Alright, you talking about being pussies? No offense, brother. When you call yourself a nigga, that's what you're doing. Okay? Nigga was false skin. We got many of our brothers, light dog, kinky carry the hair, whatever, in America was killed, beaten, even raped by white men and butt breaking. Had our things cut off, had head, foot cut off, all that stuff, dehumanized. And the sisters too. But I'm speaking to you as a brother of the word nigga. The word nigga is nothing good to be called. That's like no offense to any other races here. That's like a Jew calling himself a kite. That's like a Mexican or Hispanic or Puerto Rican, whatever, comes with wetback or spick or any other assaulting words. And you will say, why that person or Asian, a chink, all a goon, whatever they call them, okay? That's insulting to their heritage. So when you call yourself a nigga, you doing what you just said in that video, that they were pussies. Okay? Well, you exploring yourself. You telling the whole world that I'm less than human. Because a nigga means ignorant, really, but they racialize it to hurt our people of African descent. So nigga or nigger don't matter. Tupac, I'm sorry, like in that movie, was a walking contradiction. Okay? He was a terrible rapper, but I have to agree with that. And calling yourself a nigga does not make yourself look good, brother. You are doing exactly what the Ku Klux Klan and Trump wants you to do. And when you get locked up in Louisiana, because let me let you say you ain't scared, they have a Blue Lives Matter law. Meaning, if you seem to be a threat to the police officer or attack a police officer, it is considered a hate crime in your state. So if you get into a problem with a white police officer and you have that mentality, be prepared to be dead or be put in the private prison complex and be an ex-slave. Because let me let you know why it's called a slavery. The corporations, the place you go shop, you have ALEC, which have politicians and business owners, corporation owners. The CA, which is a correction that own these private complex, they are investing in this to put you in a bed. So you could be a slave, which you could be picking cotton or doing some hard labor while serving time and not get paid for it. And that's why they're targeting people. And that's why you act in the thug image. You need to know your history, brother. You're going on with the stereotype. In later years, they had Birth of the Nation that made African people look bad. About the mulatto man, Silas Lynch, and the white woman he was married to, and this was scary to white Americans. Made the Ku Klux Klan look good, and people who portray African people as this bad image and thugs and savages and all that. When you call yourself a nigga and portray the thug image, you are portraying the minstrel shows they used to put in blackface and Stephen Fletcher and all those things. You need to know your history, young brother. And I'm sorry, you say to drop some knowledge. I'm dropping some knowledge with you. I don't call myself a nigga. If you have, it'd be best to call yourself a king, not a nigga. A nigga is low down. A nigga is something at the bottom. You don't want to put yourself in there. My chocolate dark skinned brother. In 19, you Creole just like I am, not a family tree. You need to stop calling yourself that. Now, I can't control a young, grown man what to do. But you ask to put some knowledge. You are calling you being the pussies because the people that on the plantation who chose not to leave with Harriet Tubman and many other people who's leaving and did not fight against. That's exactly what you're doing. Going on with the stereotype that white race people want you to do. They don't want to see a brother being in high ranks like Barack Obama. Okay? They don't want to see you in that. They want you to be the thug. They love the fact you portray that. So when they have a bed ready for you, when you commit a crime in a grand jury, a white jury that is racist, that the DA will put a pick so they can set you up and say it's the nigger in jail. I hope you understand it. Okay? And not all of them was pussies. Let me explain why that I had to even humble myself, because I'm very extreme freedom person. Everybody know me on YouTube that I believe in have my freedom come first before anyone. I'm an individualistic person. I'm not a collective person. There was people twisting scripture in the Bible. And that's one thing that you see the difference between, even though there was some bad Catholic priests and ministers in Louisiana or either parts of Latin America or the Caribbean that they owned or but you see that it was more, the slaves were more free there compared to the United States. A lot of Protestants, no offense to any Protestants, make their own interpretation of the Bible. Okay? That St. Peter, and I'm an ex-Protestant, and I'm not a perfect Catholic, but I've been Catholic since I'm 13 years old. I'm 38, 39 this year. St. Peter warned us, who the one that Jesus gave the keys to. If you are Catholic, 9-10, you probably are from Louisiana, but not all, but no one stereotype, but if you have family. When Jesus gave the keys to Peter to be head of his church, you know what I'm saying, from the house of David, Isaiah 20, 15:22, which is Matthew, and saying the keys of David to keys of heaven, Matthew 16. Peter went to Rome, okay? That's why the church is Rome. 1 Peter 5:13, okay? The church are here, Babylon. The Bible is called the Roman New Testament. Now, Peter's warned in his second letter, and I ain't perfect, that people will destroy scripture in their own destruction. In his third chapter, the verses 15, 17 to 17, and the third chapter, 3, 15, 17, which is 2 Peter, okay? And first chapter, 21:20 of his second letter, so it's 2 Peter, okay? He wanted a person to interpret scripture. So in the South, white racist people misinterpret the Bible on purpose to keep their slaves under control, which they was beaten, mistreated, had free intimidation, and it was told if you leave the plantation, God was going to strike you down, all other, you know what I'm saying? You supposed to obey your master, distorting the scriptures, okay? And a lot of slaves felt that God was going to do something to them or something bad was going to happen. It's no different than you hear that superstition, voodoo, which is also wicked, and you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? No offense to those who practice, but, you know, it is the cult, okay, voodoo. But point is, when people say, you know, bad things going to happen to you, that thing. So a lot of slaves who was uneducated, a lot of them who was told to read the Bible only, not other books. Because remember, Nat Turner read the Bible, distorted the Bible, got him behind whooped. Okay, I didn't get offended by that because I don't know about the twisting scripture and trying to keep it out of court. He was misconditioned, don't get it wrong, but you know how I feel personal level, those who know me on YouTube. And my family and everybody. Okay, thank you. All right, then when he got behind whooped, he woke up. Then he started to show the Bible verse where it says, you know, don't submit to slavery in Galatians chapter 3, I think, 4, one of those St. Paul's you know, in you know, fear God rather than man and all that, in Acts and all that, and that's when the slaves felt, let's go ahead and fight. Please look at the movie Birth of the Nation, the new one, not the old one I just mentioned earlier. That's 1920. They promoted Jim Crow racism. I'm talking about the Nate Parker version that came out recently. It's on YouTube. And look it up, and you will have pride in yourself. And I love that movie. Trust me, I love Birth of the Nation. Nate Parker, not the white, what's his name? Whatever, the white, I forgot, the one who's racist, made the movie back in 1920. I'm talking about the one that Nate Parker, who's 79, child like I am. Shout out to us 79 births, okay? We could be 39 this year. Some of y'all are probably 39. All right. But anyway. We almost at 40. We got one more year to be 40. But the truth of the matter is, brother, you gotta understand. When I mean, I got ugly when I saw your post, but I really, when you said, can you spit some knowledge to me? And a lot of the young people, the young generation, I don't know what's going on at home. No offense to your parents, they're not teaching. I do blame the elders because I had to read this on my own too. I have a 98, 99, and I'd be 99 this year grandfather. That's the one whose mama black and Native American, great grandfather on my mom's side, and his father, the one, a black, Irish, English, and Spanish Creole, because my great grandfather's father's mother was black, Spanish Creole. Her dad, people, was from Louisiana with the last name Real. They changed the Riles, and then that's the one. Her husband was born out of a white woman, you know, and the Creole father who's passed in 1910. So that's the only way it can happen, you know, Reconstruction days after slavery, okay, 1870s after slavery, okay. I got white cousins, okay, when I'm doing my research last year, okay, last 2 years ago, excuse me, 2016, anyone knows what happened. In February, I found that's how I traced my roots to England, because my great-grandmother was an Irish, English, white woman. Her other side family Combs, other side the Bug family, related to Thea Bacon, and also, I'm glad I brought that up, read about my cousin, because see what happened is my fourth grandmother, who's white, that's the ninth grandmother, her descendants, they're descendants from Sarah Bacon and Bug and Samuel Bug. Sarah Bacon's cousin, Nathaniel Bacon, Virginia. He's a white man. He the one that got the black slaves and the white and indigenous servants together. Now before these old Nazi thugs, all right, Klan thugs did what they did during my birth month in August last year. Okay, before I turned 38. Okay, that Charlottesville acting all thuggish, being white niggas. Okay, being thug and didn't do nothings. Okay, albino ape, shall I say? My cousin, my white cousin, did 10 times worse than them motherfuckers. Okay. Nathaniel Bacon. He was an Englishman. He the one got the black slaves together and the white indentured servants who was able to mix, before they made it illegal and they made the indentured servants be the slave patrol and all that. Okay, back in the day, the Bacon Rebellion, they came together because the slave masters was the elite, the rich people. They burned the Virginia Capitol down. You talking about being real tough and some gangsters. They came together because they was getting abused by the white people who were slaving, okay? There was certain, one thing I didn't like about the story that my cousin and them was trying to get the Native American, I'm mixed with Native American as well, trying to get their land away from them, and be some wars in Virginia. But what happened when Berkeley, one of the white people who's up there who owned slaves and also controlled the rendition service, when they would allow them to have the property tax or whatever. I read more about the Bacon Rebellion. The black slaves and the indentured service who were white came together, beat the slave masters, burned the Virginia Capitol down. That's what scared white people with the elite, like Trump today, okay? And that's when they made class and race together, okay? They made sure that the white people who were who was indentured servants, no different, not too far from a slave, but they still had some freedom compared to slave, would own a slave themselves, be control of the slave patrol, which is the police are acting like today, and that they would not be able to mix because white indentured service, since they were poor at one period of time, came from Scotland and England and Ireland as well. I think sometimes I came from Ireland. They was able to intermarry with black people at one period of time. Virginia was the main one that stopped the race mixing, and also Virginia is the main one that they came up with the one drop rule after 1924. But actually, that idea came from in slavery because they said the condition of the mother, you were slaves while the master was raping or either seducing the slaves in order to make babies. Okay, the condition of the mother when you're a slave, because see what it was, white indentured service, white women were able to marry black men. One particular, I just mentioned Obama. Obama's mother is descendant of that. Obama's mom is not full-blown white. The first black slave in America that came here and recognized in Virginia, he married a white woman. And the condition of the mother, that's how they were free. Saying they were one of the sites. Comedian one of the sites. When they were doing Find Your Roots, her long as a white grandmother, that's what she said. She said she's a lesbian, she like white women, okay? Her long as a white grandmother, that's me, they joke, had slept with a slave and beat with a bunch of lashes. It's a big record of them on Find Your Roots PBS with Henry Gates Jr. And they said they had a baby in the condition of the mother. The slave, they was not slaves, since the white woman was not a slave. You know what I'm saying? The black women were slaves. The mixed race women were slaves. If they had baby with massa condition, that's what the idea of the one drop rule came from. Then it became, in certain states, it had 1/8, 4th. And remember, they were doing that to keep slavery. They were doing it also to keep you certain rights. That's why I don't go by the one drop rule. That's why I identify as multiracial. And everybody keeps saying, no, those ideology was to keep us in slavery and Jim Crow and have no rights and civil rights. Because the idea was to determine what white blood you had and you had certain rights. Same thing with the caste system in Mexico. Same the caste system that happened in Louisiana and other part. They was doing that mess quite like quadrilateral. Certain rights you had based on how much percentage of white DNA you had. That's racist, okay? If it's in your roots, it's who you are, right? So that's the whole reason why that I had to educate you, because they don't talk one thing in my channel. That's why I talk about these things in my channel, You have brothers like this who say the slaves were pussies for not leaving. Now, I agree. If we were back in plantation days and you and I inherit up and say, hey, brothers, let's get out of the plantation, I'm not going to argue with that sister. But the ones who want to be in the house, where they in the field, dark light, whatever, hair, king curl, whatever, black as tar, look like a white person, look exotic, look like they Latino, even though it wasn't an event at the time. I don't care. I'm brown skin, whatever. I'm not helping your damn ass. You want to be on plantation? I agree with that. And as I said about those in the hood. Those in the hood that don't want to do anything about racism and can portray the problems of selling dope, being thug, no offense to you. If you don't want help, I'm not going to reach out my hand. You do it, perpetuate what the white man want us to do. White racist men, should I say. See what I'm saying? There was someone telling me if I become rich, would I help? I'm like, I help those who help themselves. I ain't gonna let nobody latch on me and take my money. And that's the reason why I didn't even create Louisiana. It wasn't always the ones who were free, who was high yellow, had this attitude. No. Some of the people who were free didn't want to fool with those who were slaves. Because slaves, the one who being the pussies, should I say, will go back and tell, be messy, and go back and tell master who was on the plantation. You saying? And it wasn't just the dark ones, brother, or those with kinky hair. You had those with high yellow. That's why sisters had to wear hats and cover their hair, especially those who look exactly like a white person, because they look like a white woman. The white people in Louisiana, when they actually started being real racial, okay, the white women didn't want the mixed race one who can pass for them be mistaken as them. There were certain clothes. Why I'm very against about people telling what the white supposed to wear. Okay, now I'm not with that sagging shit. Okay, that's that butt breaking shit. Okay, you know about that too. But what type of clothes I'm supposed to wear? What type of shit? If it, you know what I'm saying? No, that's what, and what a black person wearing right there. That's where that slave master came. That slave mentality, because the slave masters didn't want the slaves, even those who didn't look black. They were slaves to dress well, you know what I'm saying? Because it's telling you, especially dress poorly, dress to that too, in order to make you feel less than a person. When the slavery ended, the slaves had tore up clothes and improperly kept and not. That's why there's one thing I take care of myself and it's not being gay, groomed, because that was to tell white people if we weren't groomed that we were bad. The idea of the whole boy of the crown. When white folks saw the slaves with tore up clothes, they used to put blackface in circus and make fun of the slaves. That was the idea. So that's why I dress good in GQ much I can. You know, this is a cheap shirt I wear, but it still look good. Because if you watch my videos, I see the word pickaninny. I'm trying to tell my audience that you think that's being black, it's not being black. Stop trying to be the pickaninny to the white man. Certain words I use in words that's offensive to wake people up. Because many of our people have not been telling. I'm glad my grandparents raised me in a way. Not always, because there's some things that they did to me as well. But I'm glad I got some information. I take the good out the bad. You know what I'm saying? And that they brought me up to dress up good, look presentable, whatever. And if you dress casual, still look, you know what I'm saying, look your best. Ain't nothing gay or being white or all that other hyper masculine. And let's get to the subject about hyper masculine. One thing I get tired of, some brothers don't understand where they came from. When the idea that the black folks was stronger than the white man. First of all, anybody can be strong no matter what color they are. If you know your history, when the slaves came here, they had to get the strongest slaves for their labor. In Africa, if you were old, if you was a child, they didn't, like little child. Now, if you close to teenage, that's different. But little child, they didn't get those people because those people were not be able and be healthy enough. They also had doctors in Africa. Because remember, African people also sold, and there's people get mad about that, but no, but because those who get mad also practice what they're doing, trying to control us individually. And I knock everybody, white, black, whatever. If you're trying to control me, I'm going to bring that up, okay? Now, don't control nobody, then you don't have to worry about being feeling guilty about this, because that's what the African people in our community who want to control with that old black nationalist stuff. They know different slave masters in Africa, no different than the ones who actually black nationalists was paid by the Ku Klux Klan. We'll get that later. Let's get to the subject in the white supremacists. That's where the idea come from. Marcus Garvey was promoted by that because he was getting some money and some connections with Klan member. Okay, look up Marcus Garvey and Edward Allen Clark, the Ku Klux Klan leader. That's why I don't like Garvey. He thanked them for segregation. June 20th, this people can't lie. June, it's a document. June 25th, 1922, in Atlanta, Georgia. Marcus Garvey had a Klan meeting, dog, and he met for Irish with no pure black man from Jamaica. He thanked them folks for correcting segregation. Okay? And right there, I cannot defend that. Okay? I never did defend because anybody tell me what I cannot do with a marriage and all that stuff, with a woman I'm supposed to date. That's my decision. One thing about freedom, I'm a true freedom fighter. I defend my freedom. And that includes individual freedom. I ain't trying to be no cookie cutter bitch, okay, to nobody. Not even to my own parents. But let's get to the subject. So, that's the reason why I mentioned that ideology came from. But the idea about the black man being stronger than the white man, first of all, that came out of slavery because they wanted the slaves to be strong for their labor. They couldn't get one that was sick. They couldn't get one that was, had some disease and all that, okay? When the Africans came here, they made fun of their color, their heritage. We all have these issues, this colors and the hairs and all other stuff. Since we're mixed, we don't look, all of us look like, of course, you resemble, but we all don't look alike. Let's call it like that. We have resemblance other Africans. Some don't, some do, whatever, okay? Some don't look at all, but you know what I'm talking about. And the idea, the black man being the strong, if you read the Red Syndrome, the letter, it talks about that the brothers being the mentally weak, meaning you can't think for yourself. And it goes back to what he said about those who are pussy, mentally weak, but physically strong. See, it's weird that we can fight amongst each other and be strong, but y'all not going to fight against the white man. You're not going to tell the white man what to wear, what to dress, how to act, talk. Actually, a white man comes into business and takes some of your music. Like, for example, you mentioned Eminem. And I don't like Eminem. He's a realist nigga. He called us niggas. He made fun of our sisters in Foolish Pride. He made fun of anybody African similar from Michael Jackson, Will Smith, and Mariah Carey, and other people, and Nick Cannon, and the rest of them who are successful in Hollywood to take down. And he's no different from Trump. So watch your back, brother. Okay? I don't like Eminem. I hate Eminem. So anyway, I know I got to hate somebody, but I can't stand Eminem. He's a hypocrite. So anyway, point is, truth of the matter is that they wanted the brother to be strong, so they can for their labor. Especially the picking cotton and picking and for them. So when I hear brothers talk about the hyper masculine, and they use that stereotype to depict brothers as thugs, rapists, even though they were doing the thugging and the raping and all the other stuff. But see how they put white men on the media as a positive image, but they put a brother on a negative, especially if he's dark. Do you get my point, brother? That's the whole reason why I had to criticize your video, okay? And the nigga, yeah, they wanted to be the toughest cocoa nigga for their labor and for exploitation. Because they was afraid they didn't get a white woman. And the idea that a black man going a white woman was also scared of their race being diluted, which they was diluting already as raping or even sexually, having consensual sex with a sister, mixed, pure, whatever. Now, one thing I want to say this to, brother, that the stereotype being strong, nothing wrong being a strong man, but that overly going over the board with it, that's to say you a monkey. The daughter is some stereotypes that you don't have you're not the 3/5 of a man that had a law. They said that a long time ago. It's funny that those the one job rule ain't out here saying they're 3/5 of a person because they use it as a law too. Okay? See, these folks don't know what they don't know. They don't want to know the history. And that's why I'm saying when you call yourself a nigga, you exploit yourself. Read about Stephen Fletcher. These rappers, as you see, this is a minstrel show. That's why the hip hop ain't no offense what you're promoting. I call it ain't no self-destruction. The song self-destruction. You hit it for which also your mentality, you are headed for self-destruction. I'm telling you like it is. Read the old school hip hop. That was real hip hop in the 80s. The Chaos Ones, the LL Cool J, Salt and Pepper, Sugar Hill Gang, Cool G rap, even though he did superhero, but yeah, a Cool Mo D, you know what I'm saying? Big Daddy Kane, Heavy D, those were true rappers. Roxanne, Queen Latifah, those MC Light, those were crew, and Airbnb Rank, those were real, and even Fresh Prince and DJ Jeff and Fresh Prince. So y'all get my point. Those were real rappers. Okay? Not this stuff that's those jigaboo picking stuff you see today. That white man Jimmy Iovine that pumped Eminem. Okay? Go look at the secret meeting of the music industry in prison complex slavery. And see why you out here acting like a thug. Because when I was around, before I became your age, it was already making in the 90s. That's why you had Tupac in Death Row Records. And before that, even with Ruthless Records, NWA, Niggas with Attitude. Yes. And Jerry Heller as the manager, making buku money, taking that money to the point that Ice Cube had to say, rap the song No Vaseline. See what I'm saying? So you gotta understand, they use their butt dancing and brute and savage and all that stuff to make them buku money. And today, while we having folks in Africa being enslaved, while we have folks in Ireland, Israel being anti-black, and the other stuff, they promote this stuff all over the world. Why do you think Africans do not even want to fool with us? Okay? Because that negative image that the white folks who are racist, a Gentile, because what's his name is a Gentile, talking about Jimmy Iovine and Griff, people from Griff Records, they were trying to promote. If you watch that in the Tupac movie, they didn't want to promote Brenda Got a Baby, but hoes and bitches and niggas, that's what they wanted Tupac to be. Okay? A lot of y'all young people, it's sad that an older person like myself gotta tell you that from the internet. But these people at home, and I put folks my generation, if this young man's parent, and those older, and especially the elders, should be talking to the kids about this. I put it on behind y'all. Y'all don't want them to be thugs first, I'll let these people be their own individuals. Stop putting stereotypes about what's black and using negative stereotypes in particular to tell a brother or sister how to live their life. Let them learn their whole ancestry, not just the black part. The black, the white, the native, the Spanish, whatever. Whatever is in their family tree. Because if they know where they are, they know who they are, they know where they're going. Okay? And second of all, let them know that the true history that's not taught in school. Because the reason why this brother's saying that, y'all not talking about this stuff. It's sad that I even had to learn this stuff as a kid. Now, I'm not saying that I say it, but it should be, hold up before I go. As Creoles, because 9-10, you probably are talking about to this rapper here. No matter how dark or light you are. One of the big rappers, who's your complexion? What's his name? He's from Houston. Willie D. Willie D Daddy's from Louisiana. He's Creole too. Yeah, Willie D's a dark-skinned Creole brother. He might not admit it, but yeah, he's a Creole brother. He's in his family tree, okay? Alright, truth of the matter is, people don't know the whole secret in our community. And I say our because I had to learn this on my own. But I'm glad to find out I'm very proud of being Creole. When the Klan used to come by the Creole place, dog, light, whatever, everybody know about that doggone bayou, okay? They used to kill the Klan. No, see, that's one thing I will admit, that Willie D got that tough, I don't give a care, French and black DNA in any. That's a dark Creole. That's how we are. So I'm not ashamed. The Texan folks, no offense, who are not Creole and don't want to admit that Creole with that slave mentality. I ain't say all Texan, black, Anglo, native people, call like it is, whatever they want to call it. They do have a slow mentality here, and I'm from Texas. I know I want to get the hell out of this old slave state that was stolen from Mexico by some white Anglo man named racist slave master named Sam Houston. Okay, over the issue of slavery was banned in Mexico, and they didn't want to obey that law. That's why they had the Alamo. Now, A lot of folks do not know Creoles used to kill the Klan. This is a big history lesson. See, when a Klan used to go harass the Creole black folks, we used to, and I say we because I had, as part of my heritage, and I'm very proud of this, used to kill the Klan. And the crocodiles in Louisiana had something to eat. So when the sheriff, hello, have you seen so and so? No, we don't. We'll put a joke to this. We don't know nothing. No, sir, I don't know nothing. Okay, let's just make a stereotypical joke of this. We don't know what you're talking about. And that's how many Klan folks died in that bio. So that's one thing a Creole brother told me this online. That's why I'm not ashamed to claim my roots. All y'all with that you big, but you talking like a slave and having slave and talking about what's being black and the white man's version of it. I don't want to hear. Okay, that's why I'm not the coon here. And that's to speak some lies to you. So you better be the chocolate Creole brother out there and claim your roots and don't let none of these people tell you who you are. Don't let the ignorant people, don't ever live for an ignorant person. Okay, my brother? Don't ever live for an ignorant person. I don't care if they black, they white, they Spanish, they dark, they light, they candy, whatever, they brown. I don't give a damn. Even your mama and daddy, live for yourself. You got one life, be an individual. And since you are a rapper, that's up to you. But be nice you change your lyrics and your mentality and speak some positive and even rap about the history that I just told you. Look for the history and go to FrenchCreole.com. Learn about your history, brother. Learn about your history. By Black Seminoles and stuff. Wherever I spit in this thing, do your research and see what I'm talking about, okay? Now, you have a blessed day, even though I had an ugly attitude on Facebook about you. But my young brother, you have a blessed day, okay? All right, brother.